At Westbrook Elementary, everyone knew Mason Reed, not because he was loud, but because he was always number one. Fastest reader, neatest handwriting, top of every chart. Mason liked things one way: perfect, clean, predictable. One Monday morning, Miss Carter clapped her hands. "Class, tomorrow we're building egg drop protectors. Your job is simple: keep the egg from breaking." The room exploded with excitement. Mason smirked. Too easy. That afternoon, he went home and built the most high-tech egg holder anyone had ever seen. Foam layers, rubber bands, even a tiny parachute. It looked incredible. The next day, the classroom was buzzing. Tape everywhere, cotton flying, kids whispering nervously. That's when Mason noticed Noah, the quiet new kid. Noah's project looked weird. Just a small cardboard cup with crumpled paper inside. Mason raised an eyebrow. "That's it?" he muttered under his breath. Noah heard. His fingers tightened slightly, but he stayed quiet. Testing time. One by one, projects were dropped from the tall ladder. Splat. Crack. Oops. Kids groaned as eggs broke. Then it was Mason's turn. He stood tall as Miss Carter dropped his fancy design. It floated beautifully. The class held their breath. Crack. A tiny yellow leak appeared. Mason's stomach dropped. Finally, "Noah, you're up." The room went very still. Miss Carter lifted the simple cardboard cup and dropped it. It fell fast. No parachute, no fancy parts. Thud. Noah slowly opened the cup. Inside, the egg was perfectly safe. The classroom erupted. After school, Mason didn't rush out like usual. He walked over to Noah, hands in his pockets. "Hey," Mason said quietly. "How did you know that would work?" Noah gave a small smile. "My mom ships glass for her job. She taught me simple packing spreads the impact." Mason blinked. All that fancy stuff, and he missed the simple idea. The next week, something changed. Mason wasn't working alone anymore. You'd often see Mason and Noah at the same table, testing, laughing, sometimes failing, together. And for the first time, being number one didn't feel as important as having a real friend. Don't judge ideas by how fancy they look. Sometimes the simplest solutions and the quietest people surprise us the most. Be curious, be kind, and remember, your next great lesson might come from someone you least expect.
Kai was known as the smartest kid in Maplewood School. He had the newest tablet, the fastest bike, and shelves packed with shiny science trophies. Everyone called him a genius, and Kai believed it. One afternoon, the school announced a robotics showcase. Students could bring inventions they built at home. Kai grinned. "No one can beat my robot," he whispered. The next day, the classroom buzzed with excitement. Kids proudly showed off their creations. Among them was Leo, a quiet boy holding a small robot made of cardboard, bottle caps, and carefully taped wires. It wasn't shiny. It wasn't perfect. But Leo's eyes glowed with pride. When it was his turn, Leo gently placed the robot on the table. It moved forward slowly, wobbling a little, yet it worked. A few kids giggled. Kai rolled his eyes. As he walked past, his elbow bumped the table. Crash! Leo's robot hit the floor and broke apart. The room went silent. Leo stared at the pieces. His lips trembled. He had built it with his dad for weeks. Kai stood frozen. He almost said, "It wasn't my fault," but seeing Leo's teary eyes made his chest feel heavy. All day, Kai couldn't stop thinking about it. Even his trophies didn't make him smile. That night, sitting alone in his room, Kai realized something. Being the smartest didn't matter if you weren't kind. The next morning, he arrived at school early with tools and spare parts from his own kit. He walked up to Leo. "I'm really sorry," Kai said quietly. "I should have been more careful. Can we fix it together?" Leo blinked in surprise, then slowly nodded. After school, they worked side by side, rebuilding the robot piece by piece. Kai shared a stronger motor. Leo improved the design. When they finished, the robot didn't wobble anymore. It zoomed across the floor. Both boys burst into laughter. And in that moment, Kai learned something bigger than any science lesson. Trophies shine, but kindness shines brighter. From that day on, Kai wasn't just the smartest kid in school. He became the kindest one. Saying "I'm sorry" doesn't make you weak. It makes you brave. When we fix our mistakes, we mend hearts too. Even heroes mess up sometimes. What makes them heroes is having the courage to say, "I'm sorry." Maybe today, you can be that hero.
In a busy little town filled with food trucks and music lived a boy named Lucas. Lucas loved riding his scooter after school. Every day he zipped past shops, waved at neighbors, and raced the shadows on the sidewalk. One afternoon, as the sun began to dip low, Lucas heard a soft clink. He stopped. Near the bus stop lay a small leather key pouch. Inside were keys, a photo, and a library card with a name on it. Lucas felt his stomach twist. Those keys weren't just metal. They opened doors. They meant someone couldn't get home. For a moment, Lucas imagined riding away. No one was watching. Then he thought about the person searching, pockets empty, heart racing. Lucas took a deep breath and picked up the pouch. He asked shopkeepers. He checked the bus stop. Finally, near the bakery, he saw a woman looking worried. "Excuse me," Lucas said softly, holding up the pouch. "Is this yours?" Her eyes widened. "Oh, my goodness," she said. "I thought they were gone forever." Her name was Miss Carter. She knelt down, smiling so big it felt like sunshine. "You didn't have to do this," she said, "but you chose to." She thanked Lucas again and again and handed him a warm cookie from the bakery. As Lucas scooted home, something felt different. Not the cookie, not the thanks. His heart felt lighter. The next day, people smiled at him. They waved. They remembered. And Lucas learned something important. Doing the right thing doesn't just help others. It helps you become who you're proud to be. Ava lived at the very top of the city. Her apartment was so high that clouds sometimes drifted past her windows. She had shelves full of toys, screens in every room, and gifts arriving every week. But every afternoon, Ava sat quietly by the glass. Down below, in the small courtyard, children played jump rope and tag. They laughed so loudly that even the city noise couldn't hide it. Ava pressed her hand to the window. Her toys were quiet. Her rooms were quiet. Her heart felt quiet, too. One day, Ava picked up something special, a bright blue kite she had never flown. She rode the elevator down. Step by step, her heart beat faster. At the courtyard, the children stopped and stared. Ava swallowed and asked, "Can I play too?" There was a pause. Then a girl smiled. "Sure, hold the string." They ran together. The kite jumped, dipped, then soared. Ava laughed, really laughed for the first time in a long while. They shared turns. They shared stories. They shared smiles. When the sun began to set,
Ava looked around and realized something important. She didn't care about her toys. She didn't care about her tall building. What mattered was this moment, standing together, hands dusty, hearts full. As she waved goodbye, Ava smiled and whispered, "I was rich before, but now I feel wealthy." True wealth isn't what you own, it's who you share life with. Be kind, be brave, share what you have. The best treasures in life are friends who laugh with you. Milo was a small boy with big dreams and tired feet. Every afternoon he walked the same winding path home from school. The path curved through tall grass, crossed a small wooden bridge, and climbed a hill that always seemed a little taller than he remembered. Some days Milo counted his steps. Other days he wondered why the hill never got easier. One quiet afternoon, Milo noticed a tiny turtle on the path ahead of him. The turtle was moving slowly, its shell catching the sunlight as it inched forward. Leaves rustled nearby, and birds watched from the trees, but the turtle did not hurry or turn aside. Milo slowed down. The turtle paused, then moved again, steady and patient. It did not worry about the hill or how long the path was. It only focused on the next step. Milo followed along beside it. His legs still felt tired, but he kept walking. Step by step, the path felt less heavy. When the turtle finally reached the shade of the grass, Milo found himself standing at the top of the hill. That evening, Milo finished his homework even when his hand wanted to rest. The next day, he tried again when a task felt too hard. Each time he felt like stopping, he remembered the turtle and its quiet strength. Milo discovered that moving forward, even slowly, was still moving forward. And from that day on, whenever the path felt long, Milo kept going. Progress does not come from rushing, it comes from not giving up. When your journey feels hard, take one small step. Every step counts, and you are stronger than you think.
Everyone in Maple Street knew one thing. If something broke, it stayed broken. Until one afternoon. Olivia and Noah were racing their bikes home when they heard a strange sound, a long, worried beep. At the end of the street, an elderly ice cream truck sat tilted sideways. One wheel was stuck deep in a storm drain. The driver rubbed his head. Kids stared from a distance. Parents whispered, "It's too heavy." No one moved. Olivia tightened her helmet strap. Noah hopped off his bike. "What if the ice cream melts?" Noah whispered. Olivia smiled. "Then we don't stand here." They didn't push the truck. They didn't shout. They ran. Doorbells rang. Shoes thumped on sidewalks. "Can you help?" they asked. "Just for 1 minute." Kids came running. Some brought ropes. Some brought skateboards to block the wheels. Some just brought courage. They lined up. The truck creaked. The wheel refused. A moment of silence. Then Olivia said, "Let's try again together." They counted louder this time. The ropes pulled. Feet dug into the ground. Faces strained. And then the wheel popped free. Ice cream bells jingled. The truck rolled forward. Cheers exploded down Maple Street. The driver laughed. Parents clapped. The kids shared melting ice cream under the sun. Noah looked around and said, "That was too big for one person." Olivia nodded, "But not for all of us."
When we work together, even the heaviest problems can move. If something feels impossible, don't walk away. Ask for help. Be the help. You never know who's waiting for you to lead.
Emma used to love mornings, but lately they felt heavy. One morning, her alarm rang, and Emma just stared at the ceiling. Her legs felt slow. Her head felt foggy. Even her favorite rainbow hoodie didn't excite her anymore.
Not hungry this morning,
At
sweetie?
breakfast,
I'm just
Emma
not
pushed her
feeling
pancakes around the plate.
Just a few bites?
"Mom," she said softly, "why do I feel tired even when I sleep?" Her mom, Sarah, knelt beside her and smiled gently. "Sometimes," Sarah said, "our bodies are asking for better care, one small step at a time." That day, after school, Emma didn't grab her tablet right away. Instead, she stepped outside. She jogged around the yard, feeling the breeze on her face. She stretched her arms high like she was touching the sky. Her heart beat faster, but in a good way. Later, when snack time came, Emma chose an apple and water instead of chips. "Healthy food helps me feel strong," she whispered, feeling proud. That evening, Emma tried something new. She sat quietly on the floor, breathing slowly, letting her thoughts settle. Her body felt calm. Her smile returned. When night came, Emma went to bed early. Her room felt cozy and peaceful. She hugged her pillow and felt proud for sticking to her new routine. The next morning, Emma woke up smiling. Her legs felt light. Her mind felt clear. The day felt full of possibilities. At breakfast, she looked at Sarah and said, "Mom, I feel like myself again." Sarah smiled back. "That's what happens," she said, "when you take care of yourself." Small, healthy choices each day help our bodies and minds feel happy and strong. Start with one good habit today. Little steps can make a big difference.